Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Decent one.
Nice. Unbelievable. You guys are a well-oiled machine. Well, there are worse places to meet strangers. And I'm not saying you guys are strange by any means, but I've just been dumped off on the boat of Stephen and Jamie. Stephen, nice to meet you.
Jamie Roberson.
Jamie, okay, well, I had a 50-50 shot at it.
Stephen Sullivan.
Nice to meet you guys. And you guys are on the B&M pole staff. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I've heard some good stories about your guys' fishing talents, right?
Well, the good, bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly. That's my ringtone for my wife, but she says the good, bad, and the pretty. So, but anyway, nice to meet you guys. And what are we doing today out here? Are we having some fun?
We are having some fun. We've already caught a lot of fish. It's been nice out here today. We just moved to this spot, and the first fish we caught, saw some better fish here, caught a 205, and
Nice.
we've seen a couple more. So what we're doing today is right now I'm using the new B&M 75 series casting pole, and I've got one of my new favorite little baits, a little crappie magnet tiny dancer tip with a crappie magnet shad scent.
Yeah.
And Jamie, I've been casting Jamie's long pole, and he's using our old faithful.
Yeah.
Pole.
Old Faithful.
Yeah.
My favorite pole.
BGJP.
16.
16-foot BGJP. And you know what? That's what Jason Cook and I were catching them on today. That orange and chartreuse. Yeah.
And look, it's been very effective today, too.
Has it?
Yes.
What do you think about that new dancer bait? Do you like the action on that tail? Does it give it a wobble down there?
It does. I absolutely love it. I started fishing with these a good bit about a month ago and just had great luck with them.
Yeah.
You know, the water's pretty muddy here in our core lakes, and I really like that action. I think it helps them see it better. And,
right.
Up until the last few years, I've never used scents a lot, but I think scents also make a difference.
Yeah.
I think they can obviously pick up the bait when it comes by, pick up that scent, just naturally chase it. We're using a shad scent. And, you know, like my fellow B&M pro staff partner, Jeremy Aldridge, says these fish didn't get big by eating plastic. They like to smell shad.
And I fished with Jeremy Aldridge, very talented individual.
Yes,
Man.
that sure is.
Yeah, and Nick Hudson, they're like a fine oiled machine. So,
They are.
and I hear you guys work pretty well together, as you guys are the Sardis champions on Grenada champions on the ACT. Is that correct?
We did. We won the Grenada ACT a couple of years ago. Had the largest field ACT's ever had in a tournament.
Yeah.
We felt very blessed to do that.
Hey man, I could sit here and talk to you guys about crappie fishing because I can tell I'm kind of around greatness. You know what I mean? I mean, don't be humble. I mean, from a layman's point of view, you guys know what you're doing, and I agree that you can learn so much by watching that silly live scope.
Yes.
I want to ask you if there was one thing that you learned the most. I'm gonna go you first, or you second, and I'll go third. And I want you to tell me the strangest characteristic that you've learned about crappie fishing from the live scope.
From the live scope, what I've learned the most myself is when we're sitting there looking at this screen, because used to, you know, we were spider riggers,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, you could come out here and you'd catch 100 crappie and keep 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can go with this live scope and we don't catch any small fish unless we want to.
Yeah.
I mean, we know exactly what we're targeting, And what helps the most is we can go, like we were on the St. Johns River this year fishing tournament.
Yeah.
And never been there. And what helped us the most was this live scope. We'd pull up to a spot not having a clue. And if we didn't see what we liked, it's time to move on.
Gives you the confidence not to fish dead water.
Yes.
Right.
And you know, you're only, with us, we've only got so much time to fish.
Yeah.
And with pre-fishing, this thing helps tremendously, especially if you're on new water.
All right, there's number one. All right, number two. What's the second thing that you've learned?
Probably the biggest characteristic that I've noticed is that all the crappie aren't acting the same all the time.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you can get where you can look at the screen and tell which crappie you're feeding and which aren't.
Yeah.
The crappie that are feeding a lot of times tend to stay higher in the water column where the shad are, obviously.
Right.
And there's a whole lot of crappie down below there that are very docile and very difficult to catch. They're just not feeding. If you keep pestering them and positioning the bait on them, you can catch them. But the ones up in the water column are very easy to catch. I felt like crappie would probably just all kind of be doing the same thing most of the time, but I never realized until I could see them and watch them react to the bait and watch the differences in the water column. I would have thought most of the crappie would have been pretty close to the same place in the water column most of the time.
So,
and like he said, when we were spider rigging, you know, we might go along and be adjusting our baits and of course using traditional sonar and kind of being able to tell where they were and fish right over their heads and think that's where most of the crappie were, but it's not. We're going to see big crappie down at the bottom. We're going to see big crappie in the middle. We're going to see big crappie at the top. And you can bet the ones up closer to the top are in feeding mode and are going to be easier to catch.
So mannerisms in the bite in conjunction to the depth of the water column that the fish are actually in.
Absolutely.
Different attitudes, different depths.
Absolutely. Different attitudes, different depths.
Okay.
So we're finding, and particularly casting, where it's harder to hold the bait right on the fish's head. You're trying to present it, make it look like a shad swimming so they see it and want to come get it just like they would in nature getting a shad. Those fish down at the bottom of the water column can be very difficult sometimes to get the bite casting. But if I can get one up that I know is feeding, I can typically present that bait kind of like a shad swimming over their head and a lot of times get a good reaction, get a bite.
And that's something that basically our techniques when we're tournament fishing, because when you're pre-fishing, you've got so many people out there live scoping. These fish are very spooky, and Stephen, he's the casting king to me because he'll dial out, you know, 50, 60 feet, and he'll cast those crappie and
hit them right in that water column.
They get spooked. And a lot of times he'll catch them. If we don't, he'll dial back in where I can come in behind him and pitch to him.
So you got a little, you know, yin and a yang going on.
That's right. You know,
and it works great.
Yeah, when we see one down in the water column and it's not working good casting, generally I can position the boat and Jamie can use the longer pole and get the bait and hold it and give him time to look at it and hold it over his head. And,
what a unique approach in the tournament game. One guy catches them one way, the other guy catches them the other way, and
a lot of times
it's been successful for you guys.
A lot of times it works because of, you know, and Stephen can verify, it's just these fish get really spooky after so many days of pre-fishing, and you've got 100, 140 boats out chasing these fish, and on tournament day, I mean, they get really spooky.
Okay, excellent tips. Before we start to catch them, I'm going to share my tip with you. I'm gonna make you a cameraman. Just hold that and see if you can see me in the screen. So here's my tip. They've completely did a horrible job naming crappie baits jigs. They should have named them risers, because anytime you jig and I know people have caught them using jigs somehow, but to me, every time you're jigging for crappie, you're taking that out of his view for just a second. Now I know that they'll hit it and there's maybe that sparks that reactional bite when it's down in their face, but I have found in watching that live scope screen that they want a slow, methodical rise. And when you think they're not going to take it, keep on rising, because they have not sold themselves off on not hitting whatever jig or crappie magnet you present. If I could give one tip that I've learned on the behaviors of the fish, is fish slow and up. Once you cast out or once you drop down or whatever, raise it up. We call them jigs risers instead of jigs. Would you guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I love this little rod holder.
Oh, you got a cornfield crappie.
Yeah. So what I try to do, I try to keep several casting rods with several
Different
styles,
size, little muddy
weight
water
head
bait.
jigs, so that
Hair
depending
jig.
on where they are in the water column.
And this is the dancer, right?
Yes, sir.
That is the dancer. Yeah, so you have a variety.
Have a variety.
Buffet.
Yeah, buffet. Yeah.
I love this little thing because I can spin around and grab a different rod, different color, different weight jig, and so that you can get that presentation.
And it's
depending
all
on where
within arm's length of
they
your
are. I
chair.
can just turn around and grab them.
Oh man, what a great tip that is too.
Yeah.
Okay, enough jabberjawing. Show me how it's done, guys.
Let's go to the fun part. Let's get some fish.
Yeah.
Turn this boat around and get the sun on the right side of the boat.
Special delivery, boys.
Oh my gosh, that's
How about
the
that?
Christmas.
Christmas time.
that's the
14-foot diamonds. We love to see when Kent comes up in a boat.
I don't have the right attitude.
Oh yeah, I'm liking this rod.
First cast on a new rod that Kent Driscoll delivered, and you got yourself a 13.5-inch crappie.
Like that little crappie magnet.
Sure did.
Yeah.
I didn't have any problem filling that fish bite.
He thumped, didn't he? Beautiful fish.
You want them to
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
decent one.
Nice. Unbelievable. You guys are a well-oiled machine.
Looks pretty good too.
Yeah. And I said before in our little interview that Old Faithful, the BGJP 16, but I believe this is my new favorite here.
That's your new favorite, huh? The Diamond Series.
What's the verdict on the blue pole? Oh my God. When we first started filming this, I was telling them about the 16 BGJP was my favorite rod, the Old Faithful and all that. Right. When I dropped in and caught that first fish, I forgot all about the BGJP.
He caught the first 3 fish he dropped down on with that rod.
First
You should have heard him after the 3rd fish. I love this rod.
I can't explain it. Yeah, I can't explain it. I mean, it's so light. Yeah. And it's got the backbone that you need. I mean, it's just unbelievable. That's why I told Kirby. They hit a home run with this one. D&M did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. You can tell they put a lot of thought into
Yeah.
it. The handle, 2-piece handle.
And you know, you're out there fishing all day long, and you're holding that pole in your hand. You don't have. I mean, it's not. It's just lighter.
All right, Jamie and Steven, I need a nap. That was the most action-packed 45 minutes I think I've ever experienced. I mean, and kudos to you guys for figuring out the camaraderie and the cooperation in tag teaming these fish. I mean, absolutely amazing.
It was a ton of fun, man. We had fun. I'm glad the fish cooperated.
Well, hey guys, man, it has been a true honor.
Man, it's been our pleasure.
Thank
It's
you
been
so
our
much.
pleasure.
We've enjoyed it.
inviting us.
Man, you guys, you know, not only do you have the talent to get them in the boat, but you have the mindset to think above and beyond and past what, you know, normal, you know, you can kind of predict what the puzzle is going to be and then put the pieces together.
Well, you make it sound good.
And then
Make it sound
half
easy.
the time I
Yeah.
feel like I'm just scratching my head wondering what I need to be doing.
Yeah,
Why are we out here?
you put on a clinic there with the 75th series anniversary rod, the premium kind of crappie casting rod, and then old Santa Claus stopped by, Kent Driscoll, and gave you the new Diamond series, and you caught the first 3 fish you dropped on, what'd you say?
Well, you know, when we started,
What you said? You said, I like this pole.
I love this bow. Yes.
It was.
And
He
this
said it may be my new favorite
yeah,
ride.
my
Yeah.
favorite was the BGJ 16,
Yeah.
but I'm saying the Diamond Rod series is up there now. So
It's got a great backbone.
it's
Incredible
awesome.
sensitivity for a
Yes.
two-piece. I mean, it
Yes.
felt kind of like you know what it reminds me of? The smaller sharpshooter.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is, I mean, it's so light, and we're out here fishing all day long, and it's nothing it's like holding a pen in your hand all day.
Talking about the backbone, being in pro staffer, I saw Nick Hudson. He was staying with us at Alabama. Caught I don't know how many pound large striper with his.
Yeah.
No problem at all. John Harrison told me he caught a 9-pound yellow cat on his.
Are you
problem,
kidding me?
got it in.
Yeah.
I caught about a 35-pound buffalo
Wow.
on that rod.
I think I saw that.
You saw that video? Did you see it circled the boat 11 times? I put it in fast frame mode. But anyway, hey man, thank you guys.
sure enjoyed it.
Thank your
you.
families for allowing you to take off and come out here and do this. And thank you guys, most importantly, for sharing the knowledge. Because if you don't share the knowledge, it dies. It goes away when you do. And this can help fuel, not only future generations of fishermen, but also tourism in this area. So you guys are truly ambassadors to the sport and deserve a well-deserved bow. So thank you guys.
It's our pleasure.
yeah,
Thank you so much. for
Guys,
doing it.
viewers, when you're down here, look for these guys. If you see them out on the water, they'll help you answer any questions. They're very approachable. And subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. And if you guys have any comments that we didn't cover for Jamie and Steven, think about that and leave a comment, and you guys will answer those on the comments.
Absolutely.
All right. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
God bless, guys.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for watching Fish, Eat, Live. Our mission is to demonstrate the benefits of the Fish, Eat, Live lifestyle. We look forward to educating, entertaining, and attracting you to the healthy lifestyle of the great outdoors. We're definitely going to have some wholesome family fun on the water every Sunday at 6 p.m. So hit that subscription and that notification bell because we want you to come be a part of this.